All right, today we're doing a install video on a Floyd's Custom Shop 2 mag extension for the Smith & Wesson FPC, the folding pistol carbine, which is kind of a new thing, just came out a few months ago. So they do have these 2 mag extensions. They are compatible with the M&P pistol full frame ones. I believe it's the same ones for the 9mm and the 40 caliber frames or mags actually. And these are these guys here, the 2 mag extension. These are made out of 6061 aluminum. The spacers that you see here are 3D printed. So I know some of you guys are like, oh my god, it's 3D printed, it's cheap. It's sturdy, it's hard, it's just a spacer. It's gonna serve its purpose and its function, so not a big deal. So as you can see, we have a factory. This is the 23 round mags. Both of these are the 23 round mags. This is the factory base plate and the little spacer, which are, these kind of do get on my nerves since I have the pistons are super loose. So we're gonna go from this to this. I've already done one, and we're gonna show you guys how to do the other. All right, so we're going from OEM to the aluminum base plate and the hook spacers, and we'll talk about these hook spacers a little bit later, but let's go ahead and get into the install. So again, these are from Floyd's Custom Shop. We're going to install the spacer and then the base plate. These do work with the stock springs. You don't have to change the springs out in the mag. From what I've seen or what they've said themselves, Floyd's Custom Shop, they do not work on the factory 10 round mags. Nor do they work with competitor mag wells. So keep that in mind. They don't work on the factory 10 round mags or competitor mag wells. But these are the same plus 2 mag extensions for the Smith & Wesson M&P full pistol frame for the 9mm and the 40 caliber. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. They do send this in a nice little floydscustomshop.com sticker. These go on my safe, any products that I use. Give me a safe looking all dirt-ish. I asked them to send me an Allen key just to be on the safe side. I always lose all my small tools. So here we go. Let's get, if we can get this guy out of there. It's got a lot of points in the edges. There we go. So here's the spacer itself. It'll eventually be going here. And these hooks will serve a purpose, as I'll show you guys. If you haven't already seen their video on Instagram, follow Floyd's Custom Shop on Instagram for some of this stuff that just came out. Also, I do believe they have a subscription email you can sign up to on their website. So this is a 3D printed spacer for the 23 round mags. And here's the plus 2 mag extension. All right, so let's go ahead and start by removing the original base plate. All right, so we got this guy upside down. We have the little tab. I use a little flathead screwdriver. Just push that guy in there. Kind of get that spacer out the way. That's uninstalled. I'm going to press this down. And as always, if you guys change any base plates, you know everything just slides forwards. Keep your finger on that tension there so you don't, get yourself there. All right. So we're not going to use this guy anymore. There's our uninstall. Put that to the side with our spacer. Kind of keep everything together. All right. So I would suggest go ahead and put it on the spacer. The orientation, keep an eye on all that, right? So we have where we feed the front, the tip of the bullet this way. So when these go in, as you can see, hooks face the same way. Now I did check this out on the first one. It is easier to come in from the top. You're not going to be able to go in from the bottom because of the grooves here for the base plate. So I would just go ahead and get that guy in there. It is very, very stiff. It is, you do have to apply some pressure to slide this guy down. And actually this is in reverse. There we go. Big hook goes down first. And we'll see in a second. Well, not in a second, but we'll see in a little bit why. All right, so get that in there because it is not going to come in from the bottom. So here's their aluminum, 6061 aluminum plus 2 mag extension. Nice little logo. And I like the grooves here, the texture, so you can get that on there and pull it, get you a good grip. So it already comes with the screws in there, so let's go ahead and get these little guys out. And essentially this what holds, right? So that's why we don't need that bottom plate. It doesn't protrude through the bottom and hold it in place. So this is a lot more secure, I feel. So let's get this guy out as well. Keep an eye on that. And again, always pay attention to the orientation of everything. You'll be amazed how many people install things incorrectly. This may look like it's flat and flush and goes there, but you want to get this groove on the outside. If you guys can see that, make sure this groove is on the outside and you're not installing this thing backwards where it's flat. You may think that's the way it goes, nice and flush, but it goes obviously with the cups going down, right? Not super flush, and with your groove on the outside. All right, if you can see, this has got the little grooves here, the little teeth. That's where it's going to grip onto. See if you can catch that on camera. See the little grooves and little teeth on there on the ends, and that's essentially what's going to catch on the lips on the side of the mag. You want to twist this guy around. You want the lips on the mag further to the back as you slide this in from the front. You might have seen my little edit. I was going the wrong way, so I'm teaching you guys. So if you have the hooks here, if you've already installed your spacer, if not, your lips will go closer to the back. And you go ahead, I like to use my finger through the top, kind of depress that in there. And I like to come from the front here and kind of get that started a little bit. And there you go. Once it catches, you can just kind of get that in there and go the rest of the way. All right, so you're nice and flush. Double check. There we go. And that is nice and flush there. You can see it's nice and flush. We're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead, get our back plate on. Cups facing out, right? With the grooves on the outside. Everything is matching perfect. Let's get our screw in there. Of course, the smallest little things I always have an issue with my big gorilla paws. And that's why it is Phat Tactical. Just like that. Let's go with the other guy. All right. Get that guy in there. Get it started just a little bit. And let's get our other screw lined up. And it said go left first, right? Let it catch your seat, and then go ahead and get it in there to avoid any cross threading, which I always have a problem with these little screws. And so I think that's the problem I'm having. So we're gonna back this guy out. Let's go in reverse. There it goes. So if you start to see, you feel you're having an issue, just back it out. Go back to the left like it says. Make sure they catch grid. Let me get this other guy out just in case. You don't want to over tighten them if you're kind of going in the wrong direction. And then cross thread them by accident, right? Which is probably what I was starting to do. So let's go left. I feel it catching there. And then let's go back the other way. Much smoother and easier. All right, there we go. Nice and easy, nice and flush. Just give it a little extra tightness, not too hard. All right, let's get our spacer all the way down. And like I said, these are sturdy. So you see I'm getting my thumb in there using that hook already, and you can see how they line up. And that is done. Now, what I liked about these, when I saw it on their Instagram, and again, if you're not following them on their Instagram, this makes it a lot easier to pull these out. Now, I've done both here. Also a cool little look, right? A little different. I know, I figured a lot of guys were gonna start coming out with aftermarket parts for this. Now, everybody knows if you have one of these or you've seen it, these are spring release. To release this guy, most people try to press the side that relates to the mag, but it's actually the opposite and releases that one. And you come up top and you get this one. So the reason why I got these, you can kind of do this one-handed, I've learned. Now the hook almost doesn't serve a purpose right now, but the reason why they have these is, if you're not following Floyd's custom shop, they're working on the tension release. So you'll no longer have to do this toggle spring crap. So they're working on that tension release button for this. So you guys can imagine that all you're gonna do now is just get your thumb in there and pull that sucker right out. So essentially what you're gonna be dealing with, that's gonna be tight in there, and you're just gonna come up in here, grab it under that hook, and go ahead and get that pre-release, and you're gonna just be able to pull that guy out and go straight into your mag. Your mag weld. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap there, but I think it looks awesome with the hook. And I got a big grip, so perfect for my pinky down here. It almost serves as a little groove for it. So these guys are awesome. Floyd's Custom Shop, and again, these are the Smith & Wesson M&P 2 mag extensions. They're not under the FPC category, they're just under the regular M&P 2 mag extensions, and it's for the 9mm and the 40 caliber. They're the same base plate. But then you will need to go to the Smith & Wesson FPC category on their site and look at their spacers, and I do believe this is number 4. But they have a really good website that tells you 1, 2, 3, and 4 options and what base plate you need it with. So these are the two 23-round mags, the spacer for that, and the 2 mag extensions, and I'll be able to hold 25 plus 1. All right, appreciate you guys. Leave your comments, any feedback, any reviews on my review. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys. Phat Tactical.